What's up everyone, welcome back to another video on my channel, and in this video I have something completely different and kinda risky. Visit www.upliftingmusic.com/courses and sign up for the course that will change your production and craft up your career. So a few weeks ago I was playing at the party and the DJ after me played very emotional, very melodic music, and the ambience or the nature around that party together with that music and the reaction of the crowd was something that kind of touched me from the inside. So he played melodic and mellow music, but it wasn't that pop psy that is kind of popular today. It was kind of more trancey, more groovy, and kind of more pure, even though it was very emotional and melodic. So something happened when I saw that reaction of the crowd and everything around it. And after that, during my stay at the location and on my travel back home, I had tons of the melodic ideas in my head that were just spinning around. So when I came back into the studio, I just wanted to express them and try to see what's gonna come out of it. Now I'm gonna play it to you. So it's very different from my usual style, and the reason why I have this dilemma and why I'm making this video is that I had bunch of this type of the unfinished track on my hard drive. I still have them, and I never even tried to release them because I thought that I'm gonna go away from my typical Eclipse style and that I'm going to be judged by the crowd or my listeners. But now, as older I am, I'm realizing that there are millions of limitations that are holding us back. In order to understand the whole view or the point of this video is that I realized as well that there are many things that are psychological that are keeping us from maybe achieving our goals. in a way that, let's say, we are all the artists, and after reading the Rick Rubin's book, I again came up to the same conclusion, which I already had as my opinion, but then after reading the Rick Rubin's book, I just got that as a confirmation that we, as an artist, we have our own personal lives, and that life is influencing our artistic expression in a big manner. So should artists stay on the same style during his whole life just because of the image and just because he thinks about the PR, about what everyone else will say? Will someone else blame him for certain moves? Or should we be open and use everything that comes to us and being like a vessel for that inspiration? As Rick Rubin says, we are just the vessels, and the inspiration is coming in a certain form of the information to us. If we don't use it, it might move to someone else. So even though that I was using this information and kind of made a bunch of the tracks which were kind of completely different from my own style, they never saw the surface of life, and I never released them, nor did I show them to anyone else. So it just stayed in this studio as I just had this urge to express certain ideas. So now the question is, should we keep this as a secret, and because of our beliefs and because of the certain base of our listeners that are already used to a certain style of the music, so should we keep these limitations to us and not expand, and that way in a certain way sacrificing or maybe destroying the possible opportunities that are coming in future? So does that mean that if I used to make music, or you or anyone else, this is just the plain example of this track, but I'm guessing that there's many same situations like I have right now. And the whole idea behind this video and this track was actually that something emotionally changed in me a lot when I became a father. And I know I was rolling my eyes as well when I was listening to these stories before I became a father, and I heard from my mother and my parents that I'm gonna understand one day when I get a child, and I was just rolling my eyes and I couldn't understand what's going on. And then when I became a father, I couldn't even imagine such a burst of emotion and the feeling that we can have for any other living human being, even though that I'm kind of loving person and I do love to spread love to many people, but I wasn't aware that I can handle that much of the feelings for one human being, especially me as a father. I have a daughter, which is an amazing human being, and I don't know, when I was imagining this track or when I was writing to it, I don't know, I had the images of that wonderful moment when you are putting your little one for a sleep. There's something very precious in that moment when you holding your child and you see how it feels safe in your arms. And I don't know, maybe I'm too emotional right now, but still I believe that from these very strong emotions the best things are getting out. So the dilemma is now, which I'm asking for your help and your opinion. How do you feel and what do you think about the situations like this? So even though this might be, I'm not saying it is, but it's not up to me to judge my work. I see that we should all be vessels for all these ideas, informations that are coming to us, and then expressing them and leaving to the others to decide how beautiful this art or music piece is. So this was completely different. I didn't have any ideas about making an album, making an EP, or creating a certain certain outcome on the festival, on the party, nor did I try to imagine any outcome after releasing this track, nor am I trying to commercialize myself, nor am I doing this or that. This was just that plain moment, the most beautiful ones, when it's just you and your studio and your ideas. And I I didn't use that source, because using the source of the emotions, it sounds like a plan or some type of the using advantage on something to generate a certain thing. It was just that plain moment where I felt this, when I had this idea or this melody stuck in, and I'm talking about this one over here. I don't know, I maybe even copied someone, I'm not sure. I sent to only a few friends just to ask them, do they hear something, that did I rip someone off? And nobody said confirm it. Maybe I did. If I did, please write in the comments, because I'm very curious, as this type of the situations are happening, but not that often. To have like such a strong idea, even though it changed from what I had in my mind when I started to make, because I came up to certain different transposed notes which sounded better to me in that moment. And this was just spinning in my mind for days and for days and for days. And then one day I decided to just like try to replicate it and to pull it out. After that, I just like wanted to support it, and then I built a Discord progression with the piano. Very, very nice and catchy to me, even though I cannot characterize it as a Psytrance maybe. Even I'm not even trying to do it. And then the vocal, in general, I'm a little bit afraid, but I sang all of this as I had like na-na-na-na-na. So I just printed that as an idea, as I wanted to mark it and just to keep it there to see what's gonna happen. And then I realized there are AI tools which can like do the voice clones. So I exported it and I got this female voice, because I wanted this as I use these emotions that I have for my daughter, which are very strong. And my wife is a very, very talented musician as well. She doesn't do music, but she's playing piano very good, and she sings very nice. She already sang in 2 songs on my upcoming album as well. So the idea was, but we couldn't find the time for her to do it. So I just wanted to hear how it's gonna sound with the female voice. So I replicated this, uploaded to that web service. I forgot the name, but I think I found it as a web clone. Voice clone, something like this. And then I got this. Na 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 na. Na 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 ha ha na 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 na. So it was the melody of the voice that I had, even though I'm planning to maybe replace it with the lyrics. I'm gonna finish these tracks 100%. And especially what gave me the power to even show this, as in the past I wouldn't even do it, because I would be maybe afraid of critics, or I don't know. It's just like, it's not the clip and that's it, you know, like that means that starting a new project and then like starting over, like building your listener base and everything. And eClip, I see it now as an alias for myself, just the artistic name, while the same person is behind it. Like I would see the reason for the new project only if I join forces with someone else. Let's say me and Algorithmia are making a new project. That has sense, like new name, because it's 2 of us now. And something that I really liked about Dinox and Beckers is like, it's a project. They were made tons of the music together, and they always had like Dinox and Beckers. Like we know it's a 2 persons, and then Dinox can do whatever he wants. Beckers can do as well. It's very, very, I don't know. I think it's smart, and also I think we are so much limited for expressing ourselves. even though I made that track called Akasha, released for Juve, where I don't know, it's a progressive house, and it went to like it was like third or fourth on the top 10 on Beatport for progressive house. And you know, like a lot of people, a lot of very established and popular artists from the Psytrance scene, they called me like, hey Marco, you need to start a new project whatsoever. And I honestly don't see that as something that must be done, as I think that I'm representing myself and that Eclip is actually myself. Anyway, so I want to replace this. I have very powerful lyrics written, which made me also very emotional. I don't remember them right now, but anyway, so everything around this track was just built to like around this main theme, and then like this is perfect example, like okay, this main theme, like piano. No, I love it so much. Maybe because it's personal, it's connected to emotions for my daughter, and somehow I dedicated this track to her, even though that sounds very, very cliche. I completely understand that, but I wish that you can experience the same feelings of how it's kind of connected to the feelings that I have for my daughter. I don't know. It's very personal. I get it. And I don't know, maybe because of that, I even had courage to make this video, to show something like this, even though I have a bunch of the tracks this way, like this, that are outside of my style, maybe more commercial. But then when I decided not to give them any chance just because they will maybe come up to a certain critics because they are away of my original style. So after that, I use like the chord progression to build the arpeggio. Oh, I don't have even one atmospheric single shot in it yet, nor do I think it's needed. And this track is like a completely different structure from what I usually do. Usually I start a track with the kicking bass, then I build certain atmospheres around it. Then, I don't know, I'm like teasing the inspiration. I'm trying when it's gonna hit, or in which moment it's gonna happen. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, and then you end up to have like an average track, which is kind of okay. While this, it just came out of nowhere. It was just stuck. Okay, I tried to make it. I made the lead. Then I already knew, like, if I have this, I'm gonna build the chord progression. I use scalar because I'm not that good in creating these complicated chords. Then I start layering, like I have this piano. I have Avenger piano, then I have like something soft from the Omnisphere, just to fill in the surfaces. Then I have this one. Okay, this one I didn't use. Very Ibiza style, so this is why I muted it. I mean, I'm not liking it that much to keep it. And I use like the drum template that I already had. I built the snare roll, risers. I built it completely my, this is snare roll. And riser I built from scratch, Eclip Riser 1, which is like... which I'm gonna make a video like how to create these interesting risers that are not that super junky ones that you beep and that's it. So I don't know, it sounds very nice to me, and I do play it and listen to it occasionally. Please let me know what do you think about all of this. This is not a trick question to generate anything on YouTube. I don't care about the views and comments or whatsoever, but in this case I'm very curious to hear the different opinions about everything that I spoke about. Specifically, what is the most important is that I believe that artists, because of the audience and the feedback we are getting, that we might create a lot of limitations and stay to something very stick, while there's so much possibility around us where we can express ourselves. And of course, like, the success is always like a reward for your work and your ideas. So we measure the we are getting satisfaction from the amount of the success. That means that we did the right thing, and it's a normal thing in the human's life. So how do you see, how do you feel about this topic at all, and what is your opinion on this? Please leave a comments below, and if I gather enough questions, maybe we're gonna start live stream about this, where we can discuss it together and see what's gonna bring it. Thank you very much for watching, and see you soon in another video. Bye.